In today's video, I don't know what I'm doing in my hands. We're gonna build a set of boost tubes for the truck. But before we get into that, I just wanted to say thank you to all 60 of you that voted in the card. We made top 25 on all 4 categories, so that's pretty cool. You know, we didn't win anything. I don't really ever expect to win a category because the truck just really doesn't fit any of the categories, you know. They're all car guys. Man, that's what the car show needs next year. We need a truck, a bad diesel truck category, judged by Whistling Diesel. So yes, thank you for all your help getting us to the top 25. My eye's doing something funny. I'd also like to thank Rich and Aaron from DeBoss Garage and everyone involved with making the car show happen. Definitely a cool event. It takes a lot of work to make it happen. So thank you guys for putting in the effort and the time and blood, sweat, and tears and all that. Look forward to coming to the show again next year. And for the rest of you, just thank you for your support. Without you guys, this truck project wouldn't be near what it is. Once we had my son and moved, this project was completely cut off from our bank account. Basically, for the past year, it's been completely funded by the YouTube channel and selling things, you know, Louisville parts. Without you guys, this project would probably just be sitting until my kids graduate from high school. So thank you for your support and watching the videos. And you know what? I've never done this before, but what the heck? I've always wanted to do one of these, and I just never have. Side note, does anyone else struggle with these stupid carpenter bees? And like, it's driving me nuts, the constant buzzing. It was intense. Anyways, if you guys get this video to 1,000 likes by the time the truck is up and running and driving, I will use it to tear out these 3 shrubs. That isn't a very good price, but it might be kind of cool. I don't know. You know, and maybe we'll tear out that thing on the side of the house. You know, there's even some more stuff over here. We'll just start tearing stuff out. I get comments all the time like, yeah, the thing's a stump puller. Yeah, it probably is. We got this one here. We'll tear both of these out too. So smash the like button, please. Thank you. All right, let's build some boost tubes. All right, guys, our intercooler piping came in. So we're gonna go ahead and start building that. I did throw the old intercooler piping on the truck for the car show, but that was mainly because the transmission was in the 2nd gear. Without the turbo, it was pretty much gutless. This is all just steel. I don't even think it's got any coating on it, which is good because I'm planning on painting it anyways. I don't have to worry about breathing in toxic galvanized coating while I weld it. It's actually pretty decent stuff. I forget where it came from, but some shop somewhere that mandrel bends all this stuff and then ships it out. So it's pretty decent thickness too. It's gonna add a little weight. But yeah, the only thing I didn't order is I needed another 45. If anyone else like this, you know you need like a certain number of pieces to complete the job, but you don't want to spend the money all at once. But you know that like you're going to spend all that money, you know, eventually. So you order like enough to get you started this week, and then next week you go out and buy that other piece that you needed, and like you feel like you're not spending as much money, but really you're spending as much money. That's me. You know, actually you're spending more money because then you're going to the store another time, or you're paying for shipping on another item. But yeah, you know, it makes you feel better. So, but actually looking at it yesterday, I think I can actually make the whole intercooler piping without that 45 if I make some other changes. So that'll save us a little money. It'll also reduce the number of bends, make things a little bit more streamlined. So yeah, we're gonna get started. I'm gonna start on the cold side, getting that plumbed in and welded up. And then we'll do the hot side, and then we'll paint it and call it good. Let's do this. Alright, so we got the intercooler piping all welded up. I'm not a welder, so. But we're getting ready to pressure test this here. This is what we came up with for pressure testing. So these are just Fernco fittings. This 3-inch pipe is kind of weird. 3-inch was way too big and 2-inch was way too small. So I found these adapters that were like a lot of money that go from like cast iron to plastic, and they seem to stretch up over there. So we're just gonna put some air to it. See, I got a little my air chuck there. We got the air compressor dialed down because you know, I'm probably only gonna be running like 150 pounds of boost in this, so we don't need to like turn it up all the way. Put some air to it, and then I just got a thing of spray bottle with some soapy water. We'll spray down all the welds, and then we'll fix all the leaks that there inevitably that there will be. Okay. I may have stripped one of the clamps. That should be more better. We got one. So as you can see right there, that stream of really fine bubbles, if you watch it, it's actually moving. You can see the air leaking out there. So that's what a leak looks like with the soap. The bigger the leak, the bigger the bubbles. So that's just a small leak, so I'll mark that. And we'll grind it down a little bit, re-weld that. We'll keep looking for more. Hopefully there are none. Hopefully. Then once we get this pipe done, we'll go ahead and hit the other one. The other one has a lot more welds in it, so that'll probably leak more, but that's okay. We'll fix that too. Then we'll get them cleaned up and ready for paint. I might weld some tabs on here so that I can actually bolt it to the core support in different places. Alright guys, we got the boost tubes all welded up. We got them pressure tested, fixed, only had like 2 or 3 leaks, but we got those all fixed up. And I got some tabs welded on here. Got this awesome pear-shaped tab here. So I got my inspiration from that because I just love fruit so much. That'll bolt to the battery bracket on the passenger side, and then this one mounts to the core support on the driver's side. And then I also incorporated in this piece here, and that's for the power steering lines to sit in, because they kind of previously they would just ride on the core support, put like a piece of hose there to keep them from rubbing through. So this will give those power steering lines somewhere to sit, and we'll probably zip tie them right to that. Also went ahead and welded on a bead to the ends of these to keep the couplers from blowing off, rather than using my fancy bead roll pliers. This is a little bit thick, and I didn't want to heat it up red hot just to get that bead in it, so just went ahead and welded that in. They're looking pretty decent. I wouldn't say great, but they're looking decent. These tabs do make it a little bit harder to get them on and off because they are, you know, it's one piece. And so there's nothing flexible about them, and then adding these tabs in definitely made it a little bit more difficult, but we'll still be able to get them on and off, no problem. These tabs will be nice if at some point one of the boost couplers lets loose and blows off or breaks or something like that. They'll still be secured to the core support. It'll also help to keep that from happening. You know, now this will be mounted so that this physically can't push out, and it'll help keep that one from pushing up, and same thing on this side. So, and it'll keep them from rattling too. So yeah, we get these outside, get them cleaned off with some super clean, then we'll get them primed and painted. We'll get them back on the truck here. I think these definitely look better than the old boost tubes. A little bit cleaner, less couplers on them. Even ended up with some race car stuff here. We got some pie cuts here and there. Ended up having to put a little piece of pie on that one there. Like I said, not a welder, especially when it comes to the thin stuff. I'm more of a lock her in and let her eat kind of welder, you know. Give me some thick stuff. Not awful. They'll definitely do the trick. Let's get these painted up. So I went ahead and got our intercooler piping put in. It's kind of a pain because of the tabs I welded on there, but it's like solid, which is what I was going for. This isn't something you're going to take on and off very often, hopefully. The issue I ran into was with these couplers that I ordered. On this end here with the beads on both of those things, these are just too short. On this side the clamp is like just barely on the edge of that silicone coupler, and this side was even worse. My welded bead is right there, so it would have only clamped down on part of that. So I ordered this big guy here. This is just a foot long, 3-inch by 12-inch piece of silicone pipe. Might be a little longer than we need, but maybe we'll measure it. That way these couplers will be the right size and we'll get a good grab on it. And someone actually suggested putting a little hairspray on these, and that'll help to hold it on there. That's what I love about YouTube. You learn all sorts of new tips and tricks. I'm gonna go ahead and get these taken back off of here. We'll measure them up and we'll cut the silicone coupler down and put it all back together. Hey.
What?
Can I borrow your hairspray?
Just use your own.
I don't have hairspray.
Please.
So the majority of the time I don't get a whole lot of instructions when people give me these tips. You know, it's just like, hey, try this. So I cleaned out the couplers. I think I'm just going to spray a little bit inside the coupler, a thin layer. This, I'm using Aussie Instant Freeze hairspray for 24-hour extreme hold. This has Australian jojoba oil and sea kelp for an extreme hold. I don't know if it makes a difference. But my fear is with the instant freeze, like I'll start to slide it on and it's just gonna like super glue itself. Hey, I mean, like, is this stuff like, you ever got your head stuck to something?
Yeah. Every day I can't walk out of the house without wetting my hair down after I spray my hairspray.
Like, have you ever gotten a hat stuck to your head?
Oh my god.
Remember that time I had to shave my head? No, I've never gotten it so bad.
I just want to know how instant the instant freeze is.
Be instant, but I'm sure, but not instant enough to get a hat stuck to your head.
Well, that's good, because I sprayed a little on my hair for the video, and then I put my hat on. She did kind of stick. Help it slide on quite a bit easier. That was so much better. Having this long enough. That ain't going anywhere. Alright, so intercooler piping is in and it looks pretty good. It turned out way better than what we had before, at least in my opinion. I think it looks a lot nicer and it'll be a lot better because we won't have as many issues with boost couplers blowing apart. And I tried to make this a little bit more tight fitting. So like around here, I shortened it up and brought it in real close to everything there. And then put in this tab here so that kind of secures it to the core support. Also added in this piece here for these two power steering hoses to sit in. We'll probably throw a tie wrap around there just to hold them in place, but that'll keep those from rubbing on the core support. The only thing we haven't done is we haven't put the clamps on that 90 yet. I'm gonna wait until we get the truck running again, and we'll just kind of blow. I'll take this 90 right off and we'll blow out the intercooler and all the piping just to make sure that it's all clean. I think I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I was trying to do this without using that extra 45, but I don't think I ever explained like how. So on this side I cut this notch in the core support so that we could turn this 90 and angle it up, rather than before this came straight under the core support and then had like a 90 up, and it always kind of stuck way down in the wheel well, and with the 22.5s on it they would rub just slightly. This brings it up and out of the way quite a bit. I brought it up just about as close as I could to the bottom of that battery box. Actually, this was where it would hit first. That's about as high as I could tip it up without cutting out of my battery box. And then I tried to turn this as far as I could that way without touching the post on the alternator. That way we'll have some room to get our intake through. I want to build like an actual intake box this time around. That way the filter's actually inside of something, and then it'll suck the air from inside the fender or somewhere. It wasn't great, the situation we had before. Pretty happy with that. I mean, that's pretty solid. So I think that'll definitely work a little bit better. It's not the prettiest. The paint job was, I'm not sure if I have the wrong nozzle. It just seems like the paint's too thick to come out of the gun, and I tried putting more reducer in it this time, but it doesn't spray like a nice mist. Not that I've sprayed a ton of paint. I don't know. Maybe that's what it's supposed to do, and I'm just terrible at it. I don't know. But either way, it'll do. So, pretty happy with that. All right, guys. Boost tubes are done and installed. And like I said, once we get it fired up, we'll blow this sucker out, make sure there's no trash left in the intercooler and any of the piping. We'll blow that out instead of blowing it into the engine. Definitely happy with how these turned out. They're definitely way better than what we had before, and I don't think we'll have any issues with them at all. Couldn't be happier with how they turned out. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that it brought you joy and entertainment and all that. Hope you guys are having a good week. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button. Help us get to that 1,000 mark. We'll be pulling stumps in no time. If you really like the video and you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's free. But thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.